Hi, these comments are for SA. I am Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. Thank you for completing your pronunciation pretest for vowel and consonant sounds. And this is a part of my 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you realize that you want to improve your overall fluency in English, and specifically, you said in the audio file that you emailed me, you want to get more familiar with American English because you're a resident from India and you speak more British English, right? Now, the good news is it doesn't really matter if you're speaking British or American English. What matters is your overall fluency. How clear can you speak? Is it easier for people to understand you? And I'm telling you, you have a very, very heavy non-native speaker accent. There's no doubt about that, right? And you actually have a really interesting history. I mean, going all the way back to 1993 with your education. I think you said you got educated in biology. You taught in the Middle East, and then finally you ended up in Canada a few years ago, and you're a substitute teacher now, and you want to work more on your, you said speaking, writing, listening, reading, and so on. So you want to improve your academic English skills, and you are required to take the TOEFL exam, right? So this is everything that you told me. It makes a lot of sense. Now let's take a look at the pronunciation pretest that you just completed, right? So with part A, okay, I think lesson number 8, I think you need to study this one. Lesson number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, number 14, 16, 19, 20, 23, and lesson number 24. So those are the most important lessons that you should be practicing right now. Now, if you're interested, I have no idea what your budget is. I'd love to help you. In about 2 weeks, I'll have a lot more time. I'm finishing the semester here at California State University, San Bernardino. And if you're interested in accent reduction private lessons, I can certainly start doing that. If you're interested in setting up some times and things that may work for you, you can come by during my virtual Zoom office hours and we can talk face to face more on that. Okay. In part B, you talked about your educational background, your work history. You talked about why it's important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciation abilities, and you explained what you hope to achieve in this course. And overall, you want a higher level of speaking and pronunciation proficiency, and that's a good goal. And you mentioned that you're a secretary in the Toastmasters Club. I think that's actually pretty cool, and that's also giving you a lot of practice with speaking. Let me look at this place in case anybody at YouTube not sure what we're talking about here. Maybe it's here. Hold on. I need to put the S on the end of it. Okay, here we go. So you went over to Toastmasters.org, I guess, when you moved to Canada or maybe before that, and you figured out where a club was in your area and you joined it. So you can't do much better than that. Okay, so that's good. Now let's take a look at what's called your, I'm going to give you a scale from 1 to 7. 1 means you are high, you're a high beginner speaker of English, and then 7 means you are a native speaker. And this is kind of a tough one because definitely you're speaking fluently. You don't have a lot of pauses and hesitations. You're very comfortable speaking the language. Um, on the other hand, it is difficult to understand you because of your heavy, heavy Indian accent. So I'm looking at three here. Let me see. Somewhat distracting. I'm going to say you're probably a low three, no, a high three, low four. So I'm going to put you at high intermediate level here, 4.1. The only reason I'm saying high intermediate in your speaking is mainly because of your pronunciation problems that you need to work on, right? I think once you solve those, and maybe elevate your grammar and vocabulary a little bit as you said you wanted to do, I think you will be able to move up into the next level here, which is advanced 5.1 or higher. And usually if you can score 5.1 on my pronunciation post test, that tells you you're ready to take the TOEFL exam, at least in the sense where you can score at least 26 points or higher on that test once you get to this level here. All right, so let me just review one more time. I just did this in the beginning of the video, but the lessons that are most important for you are lesson number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 19, 20, 23, and 24. So what does that mean? It means that you want to go over to the pronunciation part of my course, and you can see here you get to step number 2, right? You're going to go to lesson 8, which is your first lesson, and you want to practice these exercises. Contrasting the vowels. You want to practice this short 8-minute video. And you'll notice at the very end, you'll have two things. You'll have some sentence reading exercises in which you practice the sounds in the lesson. And by the way, you can email me this for feedback. My basic rule when you're doing speaking and pronunciation practice is you can send me 60 seconds of pronunciation or speaking practice every 24 hours. And what you would do here is you would practice yourself, you would practice recording the sentences and then email them to me, and I will tell you if you've mastered those vowel sounds, right? You can also do one more. You can do the paragraph reading as well. And of course, you can start sending me speaking practice. So just remember, do not send me more than 60 seconds of speaking or pronunciation practice every 24 hours. That's all the time I have. And then maybe in about 2 weeks, if you're interested in private lessons, we can start doing that. I can do that I could do maybe 1 to 3 hours a week based on what your budget is and your interest if you want to do that. And that means we would meet face to face, and we would face to face via Zoom, and we would work on these lessons that you're having trouble with, these sounds. That's kind of how it works. All right, so thank you very much. So your score here is about 4.1 out of 7 according to my my speaking and pronunciation continuum. And thank you for completing this practice test.